Can everybody hear me now? Sorry, it took a bit. There was like not only a misscheduling on my part, but Streamlabs didn't actually want to work for me today. Ingrid, hi, thank you for being here. Dimitri, thank you. Also, if I take a second to respond, I have the slow mode chat thing cut on, and I do that because I like to make sure I answer everybody. Also, if you wouldn't mind, let me know if there's like a high pitch frequency or something so that way I can cut it down. I have like three fans going because it is ridiculously hot where I'm at. So let me back this up a bit too. There we go. No, I'm glad to be doing this. I miss doing these streams and hanging out with everybody. I just overslept a bit, so but I desperately needed sleep. I do have some plans for the stream. So let's see if I can pull up my little list here. Sometimes I feel like I respond to all of the comments, and then I realize that there's so many comments that YouTube doesn't alert me to it all. Um, yeah, it's crazy. So, currently, because I like to do channel updates every time I do a live stream. Currently we're at 14,011 subscribers. I am just baffled and amazed by this. It's steadily growing, and I'm completely humbled by it. Um, I go through, especially here recently, a lot to try to come up with stuff, to come up with ideas for videos, and I'm always afraid of like maybe it's gonna sound the same or some kind of issue. And the fact that people still keep coming back and are loyal fans and love it, it's just extremely humbling for me. Um, so I'm grateful for all of you, especially those of you who are in chat right now, willing to spend your Saturday to hang out. Today I'm gonna do basically a lot of discussions about like ideas I want to do going forward with the channel. Um, some other projects I'm working on, and uh, talk about different meditation stuff, some recent stuff that's came to light too, in the news and everything. And I have this new, because I've been contemplating doing this. I have a oracle card thing too. It's not the Tibet like the Buddhist one I've used before. This one's an actual like legit one. I might do like the thing I did that one time, like the collective thing for that one stream where we hung out and I pulled cards and read from them and everything. So we might do that a bit today too. Um, and then I will probably create a live meditation, like so, work on the meditation with you guys, let you guys hang out while I do that, and then we will use it during an actual meditation today. And I will probably wrap up the stream after that. But I'm not going to try to take too much of your time. I'm hopefully going to try to keep the stream maybe about the hour, 2 hour mark. Uh, It just depends usually on the flow of things. I know occasionally we go over 4 hours seems to be the norm for these live streams. Uh, Even, by myself or when I had other people, but it's always an amazing time. I always have fun with it. Let me do something here. This thing does not quit shaking every time I move it. It's like a bit ridiculous here. Okay. And first off, too, I don't have access to type anything into the chat. There was a few things I wanted to type, um, like links and stuff I wanted to provide, but it's I can't do it, and I don't know why. It's I enabled this to be subscriber only, uh, to people to be able to chat. So if you're watching and you're not subscribed to the channel and you want to say something in chat, only you gotta do is subscribe to the channel, and then it'll give you the ability to send a chat. It's kind of like Twitch now, I guess. Um, Yo, Eldon, what's going on, brother? Glad that you could be here. Got both of my amazing mods here. If you guys look in the chat and you see Tell Me a Story and Happy Capybara, these are my mods for the channel. These are some amazing people. If you're in the Discord community, for Mimir as well, you more than likely have talked to them and encountered them. And yeah, so if you ever see them around or talk to them on Discord, show them some love because they do a lot. They keep the conversations juicy in the Discord channel. They keep everything flowing right. And they also help me manage some of the stuff that goes on in the channel as well. These are some amazing people to have as mods, and they're also really amazing friends. And I have been blessed to have them, uh, in my life, and to have them in the roles that they're in. Couldn't have had any more of a better representation of the divine feminine and the divine masculine in mods. It's kind of funny it happened that way. I've thought about that a few times after I picked them out. But I just kind of felt pushed to have them as mods. So I'm really grateful for them. Um, I'm just glad that they're all here. I know that life has been hectic right now for everybody. Uh, y'all are everywhere. That sounds about right. All right, so let's see. Let's pull up some stuff here, and we'll just hang out and have some fun. Might have to create another window for this. So let's see. We'll do window capture. Yeah, studio. Yeah, we'll make it that way. All right, well, this thing hid me, which I'm not complaining about. Perfectly okay with being hid. There we go. Blackness, Orion. Also, I've been meaning to do this. If you like audiobook stuff or uh anything along those lines, or like some, storytelling before you go to sleep, my mod Ingrid has a YouTube channel. It's called Tell Me a Story too. So you could go there and she'll read stories and everything. So go check her channel out, subscribe to it, especially if you have kids. I think kids would love that. Um, I know my kids do. So go check her channel out. if you're here, Ingrid, like obviously you're here. If you want Ingrid, just drop a link to your channel in the chat too, so those who show up can see it. Um, I'm gonna have to post it too in Discord and stuff too. I've been meaning to do it. I've been so distracted with everything else. So go show her some love. And then I know my other mod has a YouTube channel too. Um, I've checked his out where he writes some stories and tells them also. So Happy Capybara, drop your YouTube link also. So that way people can go show you some love on yours as well. I forgot that I had this backdrop as the constellation Orion. All right. All right. So we're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna show you some of the aggravating processes I have to go through sometimes to make music. And yeah, we'll try to create something live. If it doesn't work live, I'm not gonna, sweat about it. Sometimes inspiration comes, and plus I barely had any caffeine today, so but we're gonna work through it. We'll work through it. It'll be alright. So alright, so that's working. The only thing, so this right here is the plugin that was made by Danheim, right? I've used this plugin a good bit now. The only complaint I have about this plugin is, I mean, and I'm sure I can fix it somewhere, but the expression, it's a little bit too sensitive for me. And trying to find the right note is really difficult. Like, see, that's very sensitive right there. And then I forgot to add one here. I'm gonna go pop up one of my really big favorites. This is probably my favorite for noisescapes and guitars. Okay, we're gonna go down to we're gonna set that to number 4. Some of these I may not use. Like for an example, if I find that the track sounds better without shamanistic aspect, I'm not going to include that here. Instead I'll just include something else. Like so the cool thing about this program I have is I can use reference scales. I don't know why I'm like pointing because it's not like you can see it where I'm at. But let me move me out of the way. That might help. So that way you can see what I'm talking about. Boop. There we go. So over here, even though you can't see my mouse, but you can see it kind of moving to the left of your screen, you have reference scales. And I use these a lot for everything. So for an example, if I wanted to figure out how do you use the pentatonic scale, right? So I would kick this over as, send it here as like a MIDI file. And then I will just listens, okay, so that's pentatonic, right? And so if I wanted to go, okay, what's pentatonic major sound like? And then if I wanted to go, okay, well, what does Phrygian sound like? Right, and I'm gonna back that up a bit too. Now, if I really wanted to go hardcore Egyptian with it, let me find. Now, this is the weird part about this program that I use is the Turkish dulcimer sounds more like an Egyptian instrument than the actual Egyptian sitar does. Yeah, so that's how that would work. So let's open this up. We're gonna delete that here because I do not want to forget that that's there, and then all of a sudden hear a loud strum of an instrument and it give me a heart attack. Let's see. All right. Like basically with programs as a music content creator, you have tons of different things that you can do. For an example, a lot of times in the Egyptian music in the past, they would not only strum their sitars or all their various different instruments, but they would also tap on it for percussion, right? So, you know, basically a guitar player could, in essence, be a drummer at the same time. So you'd get stuff like that. Obviously, like you can tell, it's him like holding down the strings, strumming it. And then you got light taps. I use that a lot, actually. Even though I'm kind of like revealing a lot of my secrets here. Perhaps I shouldn't do that. Let me try to shrink this a bit. There we go. On my side, my screen is too big with the second monitor that I can't actually see the chat 100% at this time. Now I can see it. All right, so yeah, some of the processes I use, right? So, but if I wanted to go and say, all right, well, which example I'll use? Okay, I'll use strings, right? Let's go. I'm gonna try to find the one that I feel is probably the most expressive. Alright, so we have orchestra, right? So the string instruments are probably like one of my favorite things. I've noticed that it's kind of like something that I always tend to include in a lot of my music recently. Simply because I love the cinematic stuff. I don't know why. It's just, yeah. To me, it just sounds really good. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna lay a bass, like a like a bass track. That was horrible. I shouldn't have used that one. Okay. Let's try this again. So you can always have the joys, and I really just shook everything up here. Holy crap! All right, make sure. Okay, we're focused. The thing that's unique about this is it does like a 8-dimensional kind of sound, which I was kind of concerned about when I first got this plug in. Hollow Phoenix Ridge. Found your music last night to me. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you really enjoy it and you enjoy the channel. I appreciate you coming to hang out and watch the process, I guess, and just kind of talk about random stuff with me today. I usually try to do these live streams every so often. I think I used to do them a lot, and now I'm kind of trying to get back into the hang of doing them every so often, like maybe 3 months or so, to just kind of hang out with the community. And so I'm glad that you're now part of the community and you're hanging out with us. And so welcome to Mimir as well, and welcome to the well. If you have Discord, we have a Discord channel. If one of my mods, if you wouldn't mind posting the links to the Discord channel in the chat, and so that way they can get in there and hang out. We use the Discord channel for basically answering questions, and various different sorts of stuff. We have a tarot bot too. So if you like trying to, ask a question to a random robot to get a generated tarot card, we have that there. Um, so you'll see a bunch of people, beating the crap out of that robot to get answers, and it's pretty awesome. I love it. And yeah, it's a safe space too. So if you have anything that you have that's bothering you or whatever, if you need advice, we have tons of people in there who are amazing and good at helping other people. So hopefully, if you have Discord, I look forward to seeing you in there and getting to know you a bit more. I can tend to ramble on about the Discord a bit simply because of how beneficial it is, and I wish that I could kind of get a lot more of the subscribers into the Discord community and get to be, I guess, be more interactive with everybody. But I appreciate you being here, Hollow Phoenix Rage. Thank you for spending some of your Saturday or whatever day it is where you're at hanging out. Right now, I'm trying to figure out what kind of music to make. Because I'm going to use it for what I try to do is like I try to make something on the live stream and then use it for meditation for the end of the stream. So that's what I'm working on right now. Beatriz de Jesus. Thank you for being here. Um, I know a little bit of Spanish, not a lot, which is actually why I'm currently in college taking a Spanish course. So but yeah, thank you for being here though. If anybody in chat knows Spanish and is willing to translate, I would greatly appreciate that. That'd be amazing. There's so much of a language barrier with some of the subscribers. I use Google Translate a lot so that way I can translate it and try to reply um, in their language out of respect and out of gratitude. It's just unfortunately right now I can't seem to copy what they said to translate it. Let's see if it actually did. Hold on. It's actually Portuguese. It's really interesting. Okay, so in English, I really like your work. It has helped me a lot in my evolution. A hug from Brazil. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you. Um, yeah, I caught that, Eldon, after I noticed it here. Um, I mean, it's Portuguese and Spanish are very. I think it's almost similar dialects. It's kind of like how Serbian and Russian are similar but different at the same time. See, this is why you guys make amazing mods right here. um, see if I can actually say anything in the chat here. Hold on. Because I try to be respectful to everyone's beliefs or like languages, not beliefs. All that too, but you know what I'm saying. You'll have to ignore me sometimes. Let's see if this actually is accurate. Oh, I do not like hearing myself. All right. All right. I tried to respond, so let's see. That is true. Hall of Phoenix Rage. That's the one thing I've noticed about some of the languages. They are very similar in so many different ways. to make it easier for you to obviously translate and communicate with people. I know maybe like elementary level German. That's about as close to a different language as I get at the moment. I know a bit of Icelandic, just a bit. Um, and I'm still learning. So, all right. So now that let me move this out of the way. Okay. All right. So what I want to do is I want to add the thing with the didgeridoo stuff is I am a sucker for like an ambient sound, right? So the one thing about that setting that I do not like is once you transition to a deeper note, it's like a really loud pitched yell. Let's see if I can do it again. This is really interesting. I did not notice that this is called Andromeda. It's very interesting. Dragon of the West. Can you make a video about Slavic mythological creatures, witches, and vrakas? Am I saying that right? I'm actually working on doing some of the Slavic gods and goddesses. Um, I have a list that's ridiculously long. I have a few of the Norse pantheon I still have to finish, and then I have the Slavs, and then I have Celtic, Greek, Sumerian, so on and so forth, different beliefs. But for the various different creatures and witches, I would say I could definitely do that. I would just have to show them the respect that they need and study it. Hold on one moment. Sorry, I didn't want to be rude. So I have to show them the respect that they need after I study about it, and definitely get their energy and kind of feel for it. Um, Hollow Phoenix, yeah, no, I totally appreciate you being here. Go get ready for work. I mean, I hate that you have to work on a weekend, but I appreciate you hanging out and getting a feel of the well. If you have Discord too, um, feel free to join our Discord community if you haven't already. Um, I will drop a link to it actually. Here, hold on. Since I've had to find like a workaround for this. Let's see. Generate new link. Yeah. Uh, Discord community. There we go. So I just dropped it in chat. So if you want to come hang out and get to know everybody with the channel a bit more, and that was a loud bit of thunder. I didn't know it was in a storm yet. Um, did you guys hear that? I mean, I heard it over my headphones. That was pretty. It's a pretty good hit of thunder. This means Thor is showing his might, right? Let's see. If I can stop this thing from spinning. My pill arm makes a perfect backdrop for this. Actually, forgot to put this on today. Always hang it up in here so that way I don't forget where it's at. Ah. Yeah, no, we supposedly have some bad weather coming, and which, quite honestly, I'm perfectly fine with. Um, Thunderstorms don't really bother me too much. Can't say that for some other people I know of. Some people in my family are deathly afraid of thunderstorms. Let's see. Okay, so I remember. So the thing that's really cool, my little didgeridoo, is that you can tune the frequency of this. Sorry, my cat just decided it wanted to raid in here. Um, uh, I did it yesterday. Let me see if I can find it again now. All right, so yeah, so right here, you can tune the hertz, right? So like for an example, 14 hertz does various different things to the human body. So if I wanted to go, I want the audio strictly for that. So 40 hertz is a delta wave. So we're going to adjust this to a delta. If I can get it just right. Come on now. Can I type it? No, you don't give me that option. This VST has been out since Windows XP. That's how old this is. Um, yeah, it's pretty crazy how old this is. So let's see what this does. So it changed. All right. So I wonder. Let's see. I do have an idea for something. Thunder just shook the wall. All right. I want to make it a little bit more bassy. Yeah. Now with this one, what we're gonna really play with is we're gonna drop the bass frequency so that way it only picks up the 40 hertz frequency because that's what I want. I don't want any other frequency other than the 40 hertz bleeding out and going to anybody's eardrums. So let's see. There we go. And we're gonna move it to that. Perfect. Now we're gonna change the reverb a bit because that's the one I used on the last video. So let's try a different one. I don't know if I like that one. Let's see. Nah, yeah, not with that frequency kicking back like that. That is not gonna work. That takes. The thing that's really cool about Valhalla Supermassive is, one, not only is it named Valhalla, but the modes are actually done. Oh man, it doesn't show you. It only shows me for some reason when I do this. They name the modes after constellations. For an example, there's Gemini, Hydra, Centaurus, Sagittarius, the Great Annihilator, Andromeda, the Large Magellanic Cloud, Triangulum, Lyra, Capricorn, Sirius Major, Sirius Minor. So let's go to, we're going to do Lyra. Let's go, we're going to go back. Let's do echoes out of the way. Let's do it as Lyra. So let's see what it does here. And y'all could have told me it's not playing anything. That's interesting. Not only is that embarrassing, but it's also my fault. Alright, so I didn't like that. The thing about being a content creator is when you make music, you have to have it just right as what you're hearing in your head, or else it doesn't count. So this is what I might do. I might just use. So we're gonna go here. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so let's just do. We're gonna do this. We're gonna put this here, so that way, as I'm holding down the note, you should see it. Recording what I'm doing. Alright, let's go. Okay, it typically records at live time. Let's do it. Let's try this again. Alright, so we have a bass track. So let's see. Boom, there she is. I might right here. check those out. Alright, so there we go with that. Now let's try to add some drums to it, yeah? So the thing is, the drums are a bit loud. What we're gonna do is we're gonna tune down the drums because I don't want the drums to be the 100% the focus, even though most people are like, well, is it not the focus? Well, you'll see why. So, no. I want it to have that ambient, like, and what do we gotta do again? We're gonna make it only play the 40 hertz, right? So we're gonna tune this down. Alright, so I don't know if I want to do anything fast like that or if I just want to keep it slow and ambient. Because to me, it's like if I wanted to do like hardcore tribal pounding. Oh no! What did I do that for? Damn. Almost lost my blue kite. Anyway, so if I wanted to do the hardcore tribal thing, obviously I'm gonna have to. Or like you would have to obviously play it faster. Which makes me want, so I need to tune down this beat per minute. I got you, man. That's basically some of your some of the stories is what inspired the last video. Is why I chose those visuals and for it. So yeah. All right, so let's try to lay down an ambient track over this. Yeah, so actually, what I might do is just do. I'm gonna make that pattern too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to keep some of these. If you can tell, I have a lot of instruments and a lot of different things kind of going on at once. This, by the way, was a very expensive plugin. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to throw in let's also, I hate it when I do that right there. Let's shrink that down. I'm gonna try to throw in some like ambient drum textures. So let's see what that's gonna sound like. We're gonna go ahead and record the notes. Let's go. Oh yeah, I'm an idiot. Forgive me. There we go. Alright, so let's see. No, we're going to kick this off. Alright, well, I just totally get rid of that. The Tarot Crafty, hello. Welcome to the well. We're just hanging out, creating music. Thank you for being here. Alright, so for this, let's maybe see what happens if I filter it yet. I have an idea. Let's see if it works. Yeah, I'm having a good Saturday. Hope everybody else is too. Hope you are as well. Thank you for hanging out on your Saturday. I know slow days seem to be something hard to come by when you're adulting in life. A slow day where you can just say, today I choose to do absolutely nothing, or I just choose to focus on myself. Those are treats that we get as an adult that are very rare. So we have to enjoy them while we have them. I appreciate you, my IHs, sorry, for being here and hanging out. I definitely enjoy everybody's love and their energy when we're just sitting here trying to come up with something. Usually, what I do during the live streams, if you haven't been a part of it yet, is after all of this, I will also stop making the music once I feel like it's okay. This is something we can just work with. Because typically I do a meditation at the end of the video and or the live stream session. And the live stream session here, the meditation theme at the very end is going to be a guided meditation on brain-heart coherence. It's a meditation practice that I have been practicing, and I look forward to guiding everyone who's here and willing to participate in a brain-heart coherence meditation. So that's why I'm creating this track for, so is that at the end of all of this, I can kind of set it as an ambience kind of thing. If my eye does not quit itching, I swear to you, I want to pluck it out. And then I'll be Odin then. Stupid pun, I know. Let's see. So I feel like maybe this could be a bit too much right here. No. So we'll switch this up a bit. None of those sound good at all right now. Kick it to the pattern so that way I can just hear strictly the drums. Yeah, 7 out of 10 dad humor. I know. I didn't think it was gonna get that bad, but apparently it did. I'm cursed now. Like, what do I do when I do not like any of the reverbs? Let's see. Let's try this one. Alright. No, okay, that was horrible. I don't know what that was. Alright, ow. Alright, let's see. The thing is it gets tricky because you have to find the right delay or it will not work the way you want it to. Nah, I don't like that either. What am I going to do? I don't like none of them. Let's try. So, a little funny story about this, really quick. So, this right here is a program that they used to master some of the Beatles music. And also a bunch of other artists use it too. So, it's called the Abbey Road Studios. The amount of plugins that I have is ridiculous. Thank God it doesn't show you all of them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to master this, right? So we want to probably make let's try the acoustic silky highs. Yeah, let's see what that's gonna sound like. Let's try to go more in depth. Yeah. Yeah, I try to do the deep percussion and stuff. That I don't know, something about the didgeridoo, like I don't know, it's just weird. And then the fact that you can tune it to a specific frequency where it just like hammers you, uh, is amazing. I love it. Uh, I thought about like adding like some trippy stuff to it, some other trippy stuff, but yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do 100% yet. I still have this. If it will open. Let's see. We're gonna do. That was loud. Okay. Let's move this back a bit. There we go. Curious what this will sound like under all of this, so let's check this out. I don't know. Let me do the scraping bells. Seem to fit. I can't really tell at the moment. can't tell what I want as far as like a deeper ambient sound that hangs behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's try. Oh. Oh. I wonder if there's a way I can mix like a galactic sound with something so ancient. So let's see if I can make this any more trippier than it can be. So what did you think? Like, is that some kind of ambient sound that I should track behind that, or do you think it's just good as it is? Let me know in the chat. Sorry for a moment, I'm just checking the weather. It's gonna start hardcore storming here at about 3. That'd be fine. I ain't worried about it. Yeah, so you guys let me know what you think about adding some kind of weird ambient behind that. It's really weird. Keep hearing like what sounds like a faint shaman drum in the distance. I don't know, like I had to. It's like boom, 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 boom. It's really weird. Alright, so I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna lay this down like this, so give me one moment. We're almost there. We're almost on track. there. So let's listen to it. I think it sounds pretty decent. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save it. So I'm gonna call it. Let's just title it Earth Trip, right? That'd be funny. Alright, also, while we're hanging out here for a minute, I need to switch something. Because this is the footage from the last live stream I did yesterday. So now I need to find different footage for the meditation aspect for today. And I totally forgot to do it, which is very unlike me. I think this footage right here should work, right? I didn't realize how huge this actual video was. Holy moly. Okay. God, I'm getting old. I just totally said holy moly. Alright. Well, that's it. I'm done. No more. No more. Alright. I mean, if I really wanted to take it one step forward into... Man. Alright. Let's see. Let's try to... But I'm not human. I'm not human. I'm kidding. Well, or am I kidding? It's to be determined. Alright, let's see. Where'd it go? Oh, Alright, Eldon, speak up or forever hold your peace. Uh, After this stream, this track right here will be a gift to you. How about that? Um, and then I will create something specifically for Tell Me a Story for your amazing hardcore mod ships. Um, I mean, would you prefer the ambient cricket or the birds and the waters behind us? Alright, so I'll remove both of those. Yeah, no, right. God. Some people, you can't make everybody happy, I guess. Alright, let's, I don't think I've ever used this. Let's see. What? I don't know if I like this better or not. I mean, it's a bit different, that's for sure. Let's try. Oh, that's the wrong one. Here is me trying to figure out everything. Let me remove that. Because we are obviously not gaming today. Um, so let's do. Webcam capture. Let's see. Boom. Here's me in all my nerdy glory. All right. Uh, so now we're gonna get to the part of the stream where we're gonna talk about different stuff. So, since we have a meditation track for the Brain-Heart Coherence for the end of the video, and we will dig into that. Sorry if my room seems to be a little bit messy. This is my office currently. Thank God for webcam filters, right? Because if I took this off, it would definitely look a lot worse than what you're seeing. So, yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna stay on. It's amazing how much that changes everything. And then yeah, obviously the blue. I was gonna do red lights today, but let's see. Boom. To me, that makes it harder for you to see everything. It's still difficult, probably, but voila. We'll do it that way. So you can still. We're gonna. Yeah, I don't want you to see the mess behind me. But so far, so good. In my bright red bearded glory. If I can get this mic at the right position, I would be totally happy. All right. So we're coming into the part of the stream that I'm going to enjoy, which is talking about the recent stuff uh, with disclosure. Because if anybody knows me, they know that I love anything to do with aliens and ETs and what have you, right? Because you know, kind of comes with the territory. Considering I've been uploading starseed meditation videos. I have rose quartz. Stab the hell out of me. Um, so recently, if you're part of the United States government or like live here in the United States, our House or Congress or whatever you want to call it, actually held a meeting on was it Tuesday? Yeah, it was Tuesday about ETs and extraterrestrials and UFO, or I'm sorry, UAP, what is it? Unknown aerial phenomena showing up in our airspace and what knowledge they have. They did reveal some new footage of UAPs and UFOs and stuff, which was pretty interesting. But you begin to see in this interview that they did with the DoD officials and all in this new program that they've created called AIMSOG or whatever it's called to track UFO activity. You begin to see the separation between the House, like which the government and the military. Sorry, I had to clear my throat again. So you begin to see that separation, right? So the thing that cracked me up the most is, Congress asked our military, it's like, if we give you all this money for these HD and 4K videos and stuff, why do you always seem to only provide us with videos of aircraft or UFOs that we can't barely tell what it is? Like it's all grainy and it's just horrible if you have all this technology that we're paying for, and it's like Congress called them out on providing us with low hanging fruit, and basically ever they were supposed to come out with full disclosure, not full disclosure, but like disclosure on all of these topics, but they would only tell us like one half of the bit, and then we'd be like, oh well, we're going to save the rest for a classified close meeting. So there's a whole lot more, obviously, that we're not being told. And the thing that was interesting about this meeting is I watched it. It's about an hour long. You can find it on YouTube. Um, is the cool thing about it is a lot of Congress members are getting tired of being force-fed lies because you begin to see how much these people don't tell our government, right? So, um, I'm hopefully I'm hoping for eventual full disclosure in my lifetime. Probably never happen, but um, that's the goal, right? It's just to have it. Because to me, it doesn't change anything. Some people believe that society will collapse and religion will fall apart into shambles if they confirm the existence of extraterrestrials or what have you. And I'm like, I think that their government's hands eventually be forced to where it's not going to be on their time anymore, because UFOs are showing up a lot more brazen recently. I don't know if anybody watches like Paranormal Caught on Camera or any other of these documentaries, and also just a part of communities that talk about it. Um, they seem to ETs seem to show up a lot more, like mid broad daylight in very evident ways. Like they want us to know, like, and it's a lot of time like they'll show up in the middle of the daytime in the sky in California. Like tons of thousands of people outside at the same time. Well, see, I agree with that, yeah, and you're right. It might not happen. However, um, there's something that's been created within our government that's stronger than our government, and they don't want to recognize that, right? Like for an example, and this is how I know this, and it was kind of confirmed in this meeting in a way. The guy said, the Congress member said, okay, well, with AIMSOC, are you going to reveal more stuff with disclosure? And the guy said no. And he said that he's hoping that he can make it to where it'll be illegal to pursue UFO or UAP phenomenon or investigate it without being a non-government official, because he doesn't like people. They don't like. This is their exact words, mind you. We don't like people putting out a message that's different from ours. We want to be the only people uh, interjecting the truth into media and into the bloodlines, which means they want to have full control over what's being revealed about UFOs and aliens and ETs. They don't want people like you and me to be able to contact them or go on investigations, because people do this all the time. It's not just MUFON. Like I think obviously they probably hate MUFON, but people go and investigate UFOs all the time. Like I totally would do it in my area because my area is a massive hotspot for these things. And you know the fact that they would say, okay, well we're gonna you know make it to where if you're going and hunting these things down, obviously we want you to be able to be prosecuted or be in trouble for it. And to me, which is completely stupid. What I think should just happen is I think that the ETs should just eventually be, oh, screw these people and just show up on their own. And I think, to be honest with you, it's not going to be as bad as people think it will be, because everybody's like, oh, society is not mentally or intellectually able to comprehend ETs, which to me, I think that's putting a limitation on other human beings. But that's just me. I think more people than not believe that obviously these things, they exist. But it's a topic to discuss because it's everything. There's a lot of people who forget that there was even a disclosure during the time of COVID, like because they padded it in between news articles and they padded it in between everything else. And so it's like, oh yeah, by the way, the UFOs and everything, the government, Pentagon acknowledges it, whatever. And then they're back to, COVID discussions. And then they released these documents not too long ago. I think it was like 140 documents or something, talking about how we've achieved stargates, how we've achieved space warp travel, how we've, uh, been working with dark matter energy and all these different things. And it's official, like, government documentation from the Department of Defense and Department of Intelligence. And the fact in there, it even says, oh, well, it'll take us 193 seconds to get to Mars. You just revealed this, like, and all these people who have been coming out on like stuff like Gaia and all this stuff that everybody thinks, oh man, he's a crackpot saying that he was involved in government operations called Project Stargate, going to different dimensions and planets. I'm like, the government just released documentation that says that yeah, we have done this, and we have the mathematical calculations, and this is how this exists, and we have studied it, and this is everything that's gone on. Um, so I mean, it's out there. I'm like, now all these people that we've called crazy conspiracy theorists, or oh, you're crazy because you think that you've traveled to different dimensions and met with ETs through a Stargate. I'm like, now the government's done said that it exists. I mean, I think I could actually, let's see. I know I have the link somewhere. I'll pull it up for a brief second. We'll do that one. Actually, I know where to find it. Here I am trying to browse through all of this, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot where I put it. Very true. People will only see what they're willing to see, and it's saddening that people are willing to be so close-minded. Um, I'll also paste the link to these documents here. Boom. Drop it in the chatteroo there. So what were we going? Chatteroo. God, I'm getting old. All right, yeah, I really am turning into an old man here. Um, let's do. We're gonna open up a window capture, right? So there's that. I'm gonna shrink this down a bit. I'm gonna move it. Like, I wish I could like move. Ah, never mind. I got an idea. Yes, I have heard of the Phoenix Lights incident. It was totally interesting, and then I love how they, I want to say like, was she a Congress member or something, investigated it hardcore, and then the government kind of just went to make her seem like she was an idiot, or like, oh, you're crazy because you investigated it. Um, all right, so we're gonna take this. We're gonna move this down. Sometimes navigating all this is it's a pain. All right, so nope, that's the wrong thing. Capture. Shrink you down to fit within this window. All right. So let's change windows here. There we go. Boom. Document cloud. Right. So the link that I dropped, um, you should be able to click it and go here also. But if you go down to where's it at? Yeah, here you go. Traversable wormhole stargates and negative energy. Uh, warp drive, dark energy, and manipulation of extra dimensions. I mean, this is all released from the government that they officially said, hey, we released this defense intelligence reference documents of where, you know, they acknowledge, hey, yeah, we know about this, right? Um, and then you go through and you can just look, uh, copyright warning, and it's not copyrighted, but Defense Intelligence Agency, traversable wormholes, Stargate solutions, static radical electric magnetic fields. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. And, our government's basically says that, hey, so here it is. Look, there's Cirrus, right? Wormhole, Earth, hyperspace, and then conventional space. Like, they break it down. Traversable wormholes are creatures of classical general relative theory, allowing for comfortable travel through the cosmic neighborhood, but from the viewpoint of modern physics. Uh, so it's all unclassified now. Um, and then they'll go further into it where the gravitational acceleration and tidal gravity accelerations between different parts of the traveler's body should be, and then it goes into the mathematical breakdown. And here's more. Yeah, here's the mathematical breakdown right here. Let's see if I can actually like zoom. I'm gonna try to zoom in for you guys. Because there we go. That probably works better. And then we'll just drag. Here we go. So yeah, so talks about all of this. And I mean, I read a majority of these, and it's just it's crazy. I mean, the fact that they, you know, had this in and nobody says, "Wait a damn minute," you know, like, what did you just say? Like, it's crazy. Yeah, and so here's a diagram of some of the stuff they've done. Like, guy puts his hands in and it shows up on either side. A dinosaur talking to dinosaurs or seeing dinosaurs from different dimensions. Um, you know, they said that a wormhole is like a mirror. So a flat-faced wormhole or Stargate, which is hypersurface, would not distort the mirror image of the remote space region. So, you know, they've been involved in this long enough now that they are like, hey, yeah, we know so much about all this. Um, well, like the guy who had to write this report, I would have just loved to have been around. Like he talks about the damn power intensity, the peak power pulse, the electric fields, accelerate. You know what? Something I just thought about this video, this live stream is probably gonna be like unmonetized because I'm talking about ETs. I posted a blue avian meditation a long time ago, and YouTube took it down. And I'm like, they said I violated something, and I was like, no, what did I violate? And they never got back to me on it. And every time I try to upload it, they snatch it right off. So I figured it'd be fun to go through some of these documents as a community, because if anybody knows me enough to know that I'll talk about this stuff a lot. And they're like, oh, okay. And some people ask me like, how do you know about star seed stuff? Like, why do you believe in it? And I'm like, well, if you combine stuff like this, like what we already know is going on, where our military is meeting various ETs and all these different things, and you combine it where we have proof of reincarnation, where people come back and remember their past lives, then why would we not be or have the ability to be an extraterrestrial and then reincarnate as a human, right? Let's say that when we die here, then we're not going to show up in a different planet somewhere. And then after knowing all of this stuff, it's hard to deny that now. I mean, we know these, we know they exist. I mean, not only that, but there is a. Let me see if I can find this one now. FBI. I think I posted a link to this a few days ago to somebody else. Uh, there it goes. Boom. So on the FBI website, let's see if it gives me an ability to go full page for this. It does. So let me kick it to. Settings for window capture. Boom. All right. So here's this. So this is on the official FBI.gov website, right? I'll post a link uh, really quick. And the YouTube. So there's that. So this is where the FBI officially investigated ETs, right? So it's known as like the 1947 document or whatever it's called. And if you have the patience to really dig into like a lot of what this stuff reads off and says, but this isn't even the important part. The important part's like further down. I think this incident has happened. Yeah, it happened in Milwaukee. Um, so let's continue digging a bit more because I know where I'm looking for. So I have to find it. All right. So here is where the FBI has also spoke to extraterrestrials, like verbally. The disc possess a radiant energy or ray which will easily disintegrate any attacking ship. They re-enter the etheric at will. Now, what's really interesting is if you should read this, this is page 22. It talks about a lot of Vedic concepts from like the Vedas. Uh, and let me see if I can find it again. All right, so let me go back to the top here. So it says number one, part of these discs carries crews, others are under remote control. So there's some of these extra UFOs are remote control. There, which is also something that Stephen Greer talks about in CE5, that some of these UFOs that we see are controlled by the etheric body, and they're not really here in a physical dimension. It's all a spiritual ship. Their mission is peaceful. The visitors contemplate settling on this planet. So the ETs want to settle here, right? These visitors are human-like, but much larger in size. They are not excarnate Earth people, but come from their own world. They do not come from any planet as we use the word, but from the etheric planet, which I can't really see what that word is. Interpenetrates within our own. So there's an etheric planet that these ETs live from, and this is coming from, this is an official FBI document, right? That is saying that there is extraterrestrials and they come from an etheric plane that exists within our own, right? So I'm like, it's right here in front of us, from the government, and it says okay, so the bodies of the visitors and the craft automatically materialize on entering in the vibratory rate of our, I can't really tell what that says, but basically of our matter, right? So they phase in and out between various dimensions, right? So we exist on a third dimensional plane, right? Animals exist on a two-dimensional plane, even though we see them in 3D, because we're in 3D, we can see 2D and 1D, right? So we can see everything from 3D down. But once we vibrate at a 4D level, we begin to see what's on the 4th D, right? And then on 5D, we see everything from 5D down. and it keeps going on. I think that there's the levels of dimensions and densities are endless as far as I remember, because I think like even light beings that some people report seeing operate on like the highest level of density. So the discs possess a type of radiant energy array that will only use they can disintegrate any ship. They re-enter the etheric at will, or simply disappear from our vision without trace. The region from which they come is not the astral plane, but the corresponds to the locus and the talus. So locus and talus are the place of the gods in Hindu beliefs. It's spoken of so much in the Vedas, and believe me, I've got the Rig Veda, I've got the Vedas, I've got the Mahabharata, the Upanishads. I have it all over here on my bookshelf. I've read it. The locus and the talus exist, and this is places like where Shiva came from or exists. This is places like where Vishnu and Brahma and Krishna and all of them have talked about. so many times, and it's right here in this FBI document. Um, so let's back it up just a bit so that way it doesn't like over flood, right? So it says right here, locus or talus. Students of the esoteric matters will understand these terms. So the ETs have told the FBI, hey, if you understand esoteric matters, you will know where I came from, right? And this is all through esoteric teachings. They probably cannot be reached by radio, but probably can by radar if the signal system can be devised for that apparatus. We give information warning and can do more. Let newcomers be treated with every kindness unless discs are withdrawn, and then they stamped it over what this word is. With our culture and our science are incapable of whatever that is. A heavy responsibility rests upon the, I don't know what that says, but it's like in authority who are able to understand this matter. So basically, from what I'm gathering right here, is it saying that obviously they want people to be treated, with kindness um and everything. So appendum, the locus are oval. So the people, so it tells you right here like where these ETs are from based on their like UFO shape, right? So the locus are oval shaped, and then it kind of fades out. Oval with resisting metal and alloy, and it fades out again. It contains controls, and it keeps fading out because of how old the document is. And then it talks about the incident where the guy was sitting on this front porch in Norfolk, Virginia, when flying discs started showing up. Yeah, so July 8th, 1947. Yeah. um, yeah. And it's still like that today. You still can't read their handwriting. So he said a black object was followed by two smaller objects that proceeded in the same direction. Billy explained that the objects were moving at a very fast speed, which appeared to him to be much faster than the speed of an airplane. And further objects appeared to be extremely high, and he said that it was much higher than an average plane travels in the city of Norfolk, and appeared to be above the clouds, and that white mist followed each of the three objects. Billy was unable to see the state of the black objects and represented, but admitted that they could have been large balloons. He has observed small toy balloons floating through the air, and that these definitely were not the type of toy balloons. Now, so I will tell you something. So I worked on flight simulators before, right? So, and in the place where I worked was at an airport, like kind of off. And so I did flight simulator work for the Army and the Air Force because it was like a flight school for them. And so I worked on C-12 simulators. I know how to fly a plane because of the simulators. So I've been kind of officially trained in a way. Uh, so, but when you walk out there at night, or because I worked third shift, and I've also worked mornings. I've seen airplanes up close. I've seen what they look like when they're flying over my head. I've seen what their light patterns are. I know them because if there was a part in the simulation that was not precise or exact, I had to correct it. So, in being where I'm at, I have asked, people have explained, oh, I see UFOs all the time. Oh, are you sure it's not a plane? Yeah. Like, did you really just ask me that? Not only that, but I use an app called Flight Track 24, which will even tell me when a military helicopter is flying over my house. So I can discern, and then also it looks like a star half the time, and it's just shooting, and then it'll stop, and it'll glow really bright and flash if it sees another one, and then they'll fly into each other like this almost, and then or they'll stop, and then they'll flash above my house, or look like they're descending and just getting brighter, and then sometimes I'll walk outside, and it'll be like a flash of blue light just out of nowhere, and then I'll look up, and then one zooms across, or it's a triangle. I saw one in broad daylight with my entire family. That was a flying V. It was just almost like the Star Trek symbol in a way, but it just kind of was like a flying V. And how we saw it is it was about 5 o'clock. It wasn't even dark out yet, and all of a sudden, we're at the red light. And we look over to the sky, just to the left of us, and then we see something that starts flashing on like high school football stadium lights. It goes boom, 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 and it makes this perfect V, and then it moves, and it's just the perfect V shape, and it's pure black, and it just flies off. And then I have a video of another one I seen while I was downtown. Uh, it was flashing little, like Christmas colors, and when I said the word green, it stayed green the entire time from the time that it flew off. And I watched it. It flew over the bank. It flew over the radio towers. It hovered for a minute, and then about the time I stopped filming, I wish I would have continued filming. Uh, it dropped down and started swaying across and looked like it landed in the woods behind a car dealership that's over there. And then I've had my car, the electronics shut off in my car, and my son was with me when that happened, so he witnessed it. I've had several incidents. So apparently he immediately turned around to obtain his camera and estimated it took him probably 20 to 30 seconds. At the time, the discs were almost directly over his apartment. It was necessary that he stoop and look up and perpendicular in order to obtain the photograph, which accounts for the porch railing being shown in the newspaper clipping. So there's photo. That scared the hell out of me. So there's photos that he took that was in newspaper clippings. So I wonder if I can actually find those. Oh, okay, so it shows it right here, but it's just so grainy that you're just not able to see it. They reviewed pilots who reported seeing discs. Wait, what? Did this just say that? Just talking about one that crashed? I love how they'll give you stuff, but all the stuff right here is redacted. I'm like, well, why give me documents that you're gonna black out the important stuff? The impression that if instant investigation washed out the disc reports, since they are definitely not a AAF origin. August, the first plane in which AAF investigators and Lieutenant were riding in crashed at Kelso, Washington. Both were killed. Directors were screaming at AAF. So it's plane was carrying part. So a plane crashed. Isn't that ironic? United Press put out a story that a plane was carrying parts of a disc that had struck a boat owned by Harold Dahl and Fred Chrisman in Tacoma, Washington. Advised that the day's issues were carried, stating that Dahl denies saying that the metal fragments he furnished were from a disc, and the analysis from the fragment shows to be from a Tacoma slag mill. Yeah, I love how they still try to cover stuff up like this. It's like a lot of people don't realize it, but don't you think it's a bit ironic that Robert Bigelow owned Skinwalker Ranch, has a lot of ET activity, and all of a sudden he opened his own space program, like, working on various different things right afterwards. I'm like, man, come on now. But I basically, like, I love that the FBI has said, hey, they're from Locus and tell us, and we've met them, and, they just want peace, and they want to live here. Which is really weird because I think that the beings that he described, may It sounds like it came from Orion, to be honest. So I think Locus and Talos. Locus refers to world spheres roughly corresponding with the planets. So velocity. Seven locus. Let's see. Because if anybody's gonna have it recorded in an actual constellation, it will be the Hindus. Where is it at? Huh. It's really interesting. Because I know there's some people who said that some of the Hindu gods existed in Orion. Um, let's see. Go back to the settings from the capture. I hate that I have to do this over and over again. Ever. But yeah. So I mean, yeah. So they pad so much, and everything in the news, and they try to. Oh yeah. So here's this. Uh, Negative wormhole mass. Where'd it go? I'm trying to find the one thing I was talking about. It tells it that it takes them like a year, I think, to get to the Orion Nebula. Um, that might be in a different document that's in here. I would totally recommend if you're into stuff like this, looking over all of this. I mean, it's crazy how much is in here. Air breathing, propulsion, power for aerospace, quantum entanglement. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Let's find it. Hold on a second. All right, so we're on the. Let's see. Post what to Discord? I have sent. I believe I've sent these before. I posted them in the section of the Discord. Um, and yeah, I have posted the FBI document in the Discord and the document link in the Discord also. It's like it's pretty up there. And then I posted the one image that I have of my experience. But the fact that all this is on here is just totally interesting to me. Oh yeah, here we go. Right here. So the destination, the transit times. Mars is 193 seconds to get there. Jupiter is 36 minutes. Neptune is 4 hours. Alpha Centauri is 15 days. Epsilon Eridani, probably said that wrong, 38 days. And the Orion Nebula is 1.3 years. Uh, yeah, I'll repost them. Let me let me do that really quick. Copy link. No, don't open it again. Come on, man. Copy link. Here we go. So there's that one. I'm gonna drop the other one in here as well. Sorry, I had to clear my throat again. Every time I do live streams and I do a lot of talking, um, my throat dries up. So yeah. So the fact that they've showed where they've done this is interesting. I'm like, why don't they just give this information right here to Elon Musk and just be done with it, right? I wonder if he knows these documents exist. I mean, it's got all the mathematical equations. Maybe he could piece the puzzle together, right? Um, that's if the government would let him do it. I mean, this is just crazy. If I hit this microphone with my headphone one more time, I swear to you, it scares the hell out of me every time I do it. All right. But yeah, this is just crazy stuff, and I'm like, and the government is so well. I'm not say the government. Well, I mean it is the government, but it's also the media. The media and the government are so perfectly like that, that they just say, "Oh, by the way, here's a link to this," and then they move on to other stuff. And I'm like, how about we all take a minute and ponder what the hell you just put out there? Like, this is groundbreaking in a way. This definitely launches things in a different direction. I mean, this was even on CNN. This was on various news outlets, not just CNN. Artist's conception of a futuristic warp drive spacecraft. I mean, they have really hammered in to this. Let's look for the other one. Uh, Simultaneous control of specific aircraft. Advanced space propulsion, metric engineering, superconductors and gravity research. Advanced nuclear propulsion for manned deep space missions. Here again, metallic spintronics. When did I first believe in ETs? I always heard about it growing up, from my dad. My dad was really big into ETs. Basically, I grew up watching History Channel and anything to do with Area 51 and Roswell. And then I have a family member, uh, unfortunately, who's passed, that was involved in Project Blue Book, and his entire family was killed, uh, mysteriously when the car stopped working on a train track. So, um, I always heard these stories growing up. So, as a kid, I was always interested in, you know, mythological stuff and ancient history and space, right? And what existed out there and aliens. Um, and then growing up on X Files and everything else as a kid, kind of like feeds that imagination. But the first UFO I remember seeing, as an adult, anyway, my son, who's now 9, was recently born, so he was about 3, 4 months old, and I was taking some people home, and from eating at my house, like as they I had some people over, they were eating, and then I was taking them home, and we were driving. I lived in the country at the time, in a small town, and my house sat on this vast field, so there was nothing around me. really. And so we got in the car, we started driving down the country roads, and then everywhere I've lived, ironically, like even in the country, I have always been next to a military flight pad. Like no lie, like it's always been in my backyard, basically, just like it is here. Um, and I don't know why, right? So we're driving, we're going down the road, and all of a sudden, uh, my headlights hit the front end of a Blackhawk, and it's hovering like so low over the road, like it's ridiculous. Like basically, I'm coming down the road like this, and this thing is like almost could basically be landed on the top of the car that I'm on, and I was like, okay, that's a little weird. Why the hell is why is this here, right? So we all didn't think anything about it, and we started driving, and then all of a sudden, like out of the side of the window, we see this massive. I'll turn this way so you can see. It's like a circular. It looked like a glowing green cell, and it was just flying through the sky, and it was like green on the outside, kind of like an embryo. I mean, let's see if I can find a picture of something like that. Cell-like UFO. I mean, maybe I'm not the only one who's ever seen anything like this. Uh, yeah, almost like this. If you can imagine, let's pull this up in full screen here. If I had to pick a picture that probably best looks like it, I would say that let's just. I don't want to open a link. I just want to open it. Let's double click the. I mean, I did. Why the hell did I? Okay. I do know how to operate a computer. I swear to God. Okay. So here you go. So this is basically what it looked like. Um, and it was flying through the skyline and then dipped down into the woods. And so as we got further down the road, we're like freaking out, right? Because we're like, what the hell did we see? And ironically, it was really funny. Is that one of the guys who was with us at the time? Um, was Native American, right? So he was used to it because he was from a reservation. He was just down here for a little bit visiting, so um, you know, he wasn't he was freaking out, but he was like a little bit more familiar with it than I was because apparently it's very common on reservations to see UFOs. So because our government can't reach them, so it's a safe haven. That's I think why a majority of the CE5 stuff that Stephen Greer does is always on an Indian reservation, if I remember correctly. Because one, our government would find some reason why you're not allowed to use an astrology laser in the air, right? Oh, and then two, an ET, if it did land or a UFO just wanted to say, okay, I'm just going to drop and hang out with you guys, the government can't sweep in and touch them. So, um, but yeah, it looked pretty much exactly like this, uh, give or take. Like this was more of like a clear white, and it was a bit bigger, with like a green outer to it, and then the center was pretty much exactly the way this was. And some of the studies I've done, some people describe that as being a ship from an Arcturian, right? Like an Arcturia ship. But that was my first adult encounter. Um, and then the rest, one day I was standing outside here where I live now, in my driveway at night, and I look over my head, ironically, and there is a big bright green light coming across, stops, hangs out for a minute, and goes back. And it's so bright that it lit up my front yard. And after that, I've been hooked. And then after that, I go in my backyard at night and I watch for UFOs, and I see about 20 to 40 of them a night. and some of them try to land, like come down like they're gonna land and just glow really hard, and some of them do all sorts of unique stuff. And then now we're seeing them uh, downtown, basically over the entire city, and other people are actually witnessing it also. So it makes it for a pretty cool thing. So this is talking about spintronics. Yeah, yeah. I would totally recommend anybody who wants to see them. If you're near Alabama, uh, yeah, this is the place to come to see it, because I mean it's just crazy how much activity happens here. I mean, I'm curious if it happens anywhere else, like probably like Huntsville or something like that. Hey, look, it's me in the chat. This is what I had to do to post stuff. Um, but yeah, that's the wrong thing. Whoopsie. There it goes. But yeah, so get you out of the way. That's some of the stuff I wanted to talk about today. I think that it's important going forward for us to open our minds up a bit and become more expansive, right? Uh, expand our awareness. No, I think that we will kick into the Brain-Heart Coherence meditation if y'all are down for that. And we'll just use this track for that, and then I'll send this to Eldon later, uh, or Happy Capybara, so that way he can have this track. Let me see. There was something I needed to do really quick with this. I needed to make it to where I could talk over it. How's my audio compared to the music? Is it like good or no? Um, I'm glad that I actually looked at Discord. Here, I think I have some on my laptop. I will actually show you. So let me pull this up here. All right, and then we will do window capture. Once again, I'm gonna go back to the settings part for this. And why is it not showing it? Hmm. Super weird. Let me switch scenes. It might show up on that one. Alright. Window capture. Here, well, I guess what I might have to do is do a display capture. There we go. And I'll just crop out my. I don't know. I guess if it lets me do it. Ta-da! I think that works, right? Okay. Gotta be careful with this aspect right here. I'm gonna dox myself. Alright. So this is one of the ones that I saw while I was downtown. Right, so I was downtown. This is the one I saw that said when I focused on the color green, it shifted to the color green. And it should have been. Thank you, Dalton R, for subscribing. Welcome to the well. So yeah, so this one right here showed up over town. I focused on the color green. It stayed the color green, and it was a perfect triangle. I don't know how much of the triangle you can see, but it's like basically right there. And I want to do this really quick, and I'll switch and show you. I have the video. Mute the audio for that. Alright, so here's the video. So as you can see, there it is. It's just sitting, hanging out over a radio tower, just in a Wells Fargo bank, obviously. And I'll back out a few good times to try to show you, like, this thing is, it's not moving. I mean, if you look, like, also in this frame, you see it kind of shift colors. So you have the red and you have the green, and then it flashes from the red and green. So that's why I said it was flashing like Christmas colors initially. And then you get the obvious triangle shape. And if you look really closely, in this frame right about here, boom, what is it flying over? It's flying over a radio tower, cell tower, right? Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, welcome, man. Right now we've been talking about the recent government stuff. If you've been hanging out, and you've probably seen what we've been talking about. If you haven't, though, I'll just recap really quick. We're just talking about ETs and some of the government stuff that's been dropped, some of the documents and everything. But yeah, if you just look like right here, I mean, you can clearly see the radio tower. That's like a cell tower, and it's just sitting there. That's where it just wants to hang out at. A plane's not gonna sit idle. That's definitely not a helicopter. And it stood there as long as I stood there. And so right after this, when I quit filming, it basically it took a swift drop like this and then shot over really low and then landed in the woods back over here. And then my wife refused to want to go and investigate for us. And I mean, I can't blame her. Like, you know, you don't ever know, right? So you don't ever know what could exist or what kind of ET this could be. But then again, I don't think there's bad ETs. I just think there's a. I mean, obviously, you know, Dracos maybe in the Archons, but you know, I think it's harder to come across them. And I mean, this is stuff that just happens, and everybody seems to be quite oblivious to it. And ironically, the flying V UFO experience I talked about happened basically in the same area. It was like but further down. I saw this one ironically while I was sitting at a red light, and I noticed it was acting funny. And then when I said the word green and it stayed green and it stayed illuminated, right? I pulled over and I was like, I gotta see this. And I got out of the car and started videoing. As you can hear, this is my voice. Right here over the bank. I try to keep my voice out of it because, you know, all the wind and the background noise is aggravating. But yeah, it's crazy. And then I'll pull up some other footage I have. Actually, I know what I have to do for this one. I'll have to log into Dropbox because I forgot to put it on there because I was transitioning computers at the time. Let's do window capture this time. Boom, there we go. So here is some of the other footage I've got it. Obviously, I uploaded this one. I uploaded that video, and then I have this one. There's another one. So you can watch this one. It's just kind of like right over my backyard, actually. So there's my house, and it's flying towards. That's a star over there, and you can just watch it. It's slowly just moving along the sky. And then it like for some reason like my camera's totally focused on it, and then it like blurs out towards the end of it, and then it'll like eventually refocus after I have to like zoom in and out a bunch of times. But yeah, there it goes. So you can watch it, and this just starts slowly coming in. And these things right here, these UFO will descend above my house, and then they will just get brighter and brighter and brighter as that start. Like see, like it just did. And you can just see it slowly moving. And I don't know what that is flashing right there either. And I just now noticed that. It's really weird. And then oh, he's above my house. And now it's trying to like take off, and I'm like trying to chase it down with my camera. Thing was hauling ass. And then all of a sudden you just see it go. It's gone. I mean, that thing went in like warp drive in that one moment right there. It was just like it was flying so hardcore. It's like, and all of a sudden it's just boop, gone, out. It's like, hey, screw you guys. I'm out. See you later. Like, I just love it how I just watch it go, just phase out of this entire reality, just gone. It's crazy. And gone. This is my every night out here where I'm at. And here's another one that I've seen. Now the cool thing about this one is I saw this one a whole lot closer than this camera actually captures. Like, I'm standing in my backyard and all of a sudden I see lights like over my head, and this thing is swooping like back and forth in like a swooping motion above my head, and then just eventually stables out and kind of like tracks in a circle, like moves around my yard a bit, looks at me, and then hits me with like a, all of a sudden I just see a blue flash like that, and then it just like lingers, and then I got this one. That's a helicopter, right? So as I can focus in, you can see the military helicopter right there. And then I'll pan back to the actual UFO just sitting and chilling out. I think I even talked about it right here. Hold on. Let's see what the audio says. I'll dial it down a bit though. Or I didn't speak in this one, I don't think. I know I've got more than just this going on now. Alright. It's not all of my footage, is it? So here's the dates that I saw them 10/8, 10/8, 10/8, 10/8, 3/20. Oh, no, these are the days I modified them and uploaded them. Sorry. Uh, but yeah, it's crazy. I mean, some of the stuff I've experienced, and I had a video of one that was coming down like behind, like at my house, like it was just glowing super bright, and I was trying to get my phone out at the time to film it, and my phone just would not open, and I was like, okay, what the hell? So I finally get the camera open, and as soon as I lock my phone onto it, I think it was just flies off. Here I am showing these videos on YouTube, and now all of a sudden I'm gonna have Men in Black showing up at my house. I actually, so the thing I tried to do one time is I created a YouTube channel where I uploaded all of these to it. Um, Not all of them, not the recent two, but here, let's see if I can find it. Let's go to YouTube. I called it there we go. Oh, let me get myself out of the way. This one gets me every time, how it just goes poof and it's just gone. So the thing is I tried to send these to MUFON at one point, and every time I sent it to MUFON, they dismiss it. Right? They tell me, "Oh, we contacted the military base, and they said that they were just doing flybys." And I'm like, I know it's not a damn military aircraft, obviously. And I'm like, and why the hell did you contact the one person that's not going to tell you the truth? Like, that's the dumbest thing you could have done. I'm like, at this point, I'm just going to end up investigating all these by myself for the local people. I mean, there's warrant officers who are on the military base near me who report seeing UFOs all the time. And to a point that with this next door thing, which is like a community app thing that everybody has here, people talk about it and they talk about their experiences. And, you know, we're all saying the same thing. Thing about that one is I love how it just pops up to be like, hey, I just want to make sure you're watching, and just kind of like fades out, right? Like, I don't like see if you watch it. Let's go back. It's like leaving, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm gone, whatever. Let's go back a couple bit. It's gone, right? All of a sudden, poof, it's back. Like, hey, what's up? Yeah, all right. Just make sure you got that on camera and gone. It's like, I'm like, what the hell is going on? So the thing that I'm convinced, honestly, is that what I'm convinced is happening is I live probably on some kind of portal because there has been times where I've been out in the back and my daughter and me were watching for UFOs because my family is and all of us are now like, okay, we know they're there. I still watch them because it's kind of like more of like a meditation kind of home peace feeling for me. And we'll watch them in between these two stars, and all of a sudden you'll just start seeing them drop and fly out, just like that over and over and over again. And it happens occasionally. Um, it's just crazy, some of the stuff we deal with. And in a compass, if you take the compass at my house and you stand on my front door, it says my front door is directly facing east, and the rest of my house is in like kind of perfect cardinal directions, right? But if you go one step to the side, it'll say that I'm facing south, even though I just tested it and it says I'm facing east, and I've done it on 5 different compasses, and it's like it's always changing. And the Big Dipper is constantly above my house, which is really weird because typically during the season changes, the constellation should move, right, and not stay the same. It's always there. Orion is always here. Pallades is always here, and Sirius B is always here, and it never moves. It never changes. It never. I mean, it's been that way since I've been here. I've been in this house for 6 years, almost 7 years now, and it's just stayed the same the entire time I've been here. And if you see anything like back here, it's like extra food for my house. I have a pretty big house. I've been lucky to have that. And my kitchen's pretty big, and uh, it's always good to have extra food. So you don't ever know, especially nowadays with food shortages and everything. You don't ever know. But yeah, that's some of the stuff I have seen. Some of the stuff I've dealt with. I kind of make a pact with them now to never video them unless I feel that they are okay with it, right? Because I don't want to ruin a possible chance I have to, you know, meet them. Like if they should they come down or should I go up? I don't want to ruin that opportunity. Be trying to be like, I'm gonna try to film you and put this on. Like, I don't want to do that. So, um, some of them I feel like based on their actions, I can tell like, hey, they want this to be videoed. Like the one that was like coming across my house, and then all of a sudden it just pops back up, kind of like, hey, did you get this on camera? And then it goes poof and just fades out. Um, and to me, I'm like, that was a moment where it's like, I want this to be recorded. But sometimes I use it just for like, I don't know, like maybe it's like a personal thing, like kind of like a, hey, we're here if you kind of need us kind of thing. Because I've had several readings, especially one last night, where I found out that my starseed family, which is like the Orions, are some of these. So that they're always like watching me and checking in on me, making sure I'm doing okay. And it's really weird because a lot of times where I feel super stressed out or like overwhelmed with stuff, like I'll go and I try to sage myself every week. And if it's not sage, I'll use white copal incense or Palo Santo. Um, and I will kind of cleanse my energies, like go around my subtle body, my etheric field, and just kind of force all that negative stuff out. And then when I'm out there, 90% of the time when I'm doing it, they'll show up. I've had them show up during the day over my house. I have one footage. Actually, let me see if I actually put that on my computer. I probably did. Hopefully. Where one showed up in the middle of the morning time at like 7 o'clock in the morning behind my house. I'm confident I downloaded that. I might put it in the hmm. I don't know if which one of the mods are still here, but I'm pretty confident I uploaded that. It may have been. Let me check the admin chat on Discord. But that's where obviously I'll share stuff that if I'm uncomfortable posting to the public. I don't really talk about stuff like this because you don't really ever know how it's going to be perceived, um, especially when you bring stuff up like this. Let's see. I know I've sent it to somebody. swear I sent it. Eldon and Ingrid, do you guys remember if I sent that video I'm talking about through on Discord where it was like morning time, but there was one obviously like floating behind my house. Do you recall that, or? 'Cause I think I sent it over Discord. Hmm. I can't seem to find it. I don't know why I thought I sent it. Come on, man. If I don't find it in the next minute, I'm just gonna kind of hang it up here. The amount of starseed discussions I've had. Holy crap. Alright. I'm just gonna assume I didn't send it. Unless there's a way for me to see if I've sent it. Hmm. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I've had footage of where I've showed it obviously during the daytime. You just see them floating behind my house, glowing just like they were at night. And I've had them where I would play the Fibonacci sequence outside um, through the CE5 app. Because if you have it on Android or if you have it on Apple or what have you, you get access to a lot of the stuff that's on there. Um, as far as like sounds and tones, different tones that you can play. I didn't download this actually until like recently, but yeah, you've got like a thing where you can just like obviously contact or whatever. The only issue with that app is I have to create an account like every other day because as soon as I create one, it'll delete it out of the system and then like make me recreate it. And then when I recreate it, and then it's just it's one of their bugs, I guess, but it's got different things like puja ceremonies, like an ancient Sanskrit ceremony that you have that you can do that makes you more like kind of heart centered, heart based. But welcome to the Mimir's Well Land of the Weird, I guess. So, if y'all are ready, or actually, I mean, if you want, I can pull an old. Nah, yeah, we're not gonna do the oracle card today. So yeah, we'll dive into the heart-based meditation. Um, if you all are on your phones, do me a solid and give me an emoji to let me know, like a thumbs up emoji, that you can hear um, my voice over the audio track. and see if you can actually hear it well. Because this is going to be the ambience for the meditation. That works too. Yeah. Thank you. Or you can just spell out the word thumbs up. Whatever works for you. I'm pretty easy to work with. So, give me just a second and we'll dive into the meditation, yeah? So, one moment. I want you to get into a comfortable position, whether it's laying down or sitting. Get settled. If you have any rose quartz, I would recommend using that, as it helps remove the negativity from your heart and from your body and allows it to replace it with love. If you do not have any crystals or do not feel like you want to get up and get them, that's perfectly fine. So I want you to take a moment and breathe in through your nose, filling the lower half of your belly with air. Hold it for a moment. I want you to exhale through your nostrils. We will not be exhaling through the mouth at all during this meditation, as breathing in through your nostrils and out through your nostrils in a slow manner tells your body that you are feeling safe. As you notice that as you continue to do this, your body will begin to feel heavier, feel more relaxed, and your breathing will become slower. It is your body's natural response. Breathe in. Breathe out. For brain-heart coherence to be accomplished, you need to sync your brain and your heart using 0.1 hertz. This frequency cannot be heard over headphones or on an audio spectrum. This can only be obtained easily through your brain. A lot of people believe that, oh, I think and feel with my heart, or all my thinking is heart-centered, right? In your anahata, your heart chakra. This is actually not true. You are only thinking that you are thinking with your heart. It's a common misconception. Now, to help you with this, I want you to take your right or left hand, whichever hand's more comfortable for you, and place the palm of your hand on the sternum, the breastbone. Or you can take the 4 tips of your fingers and place it on there as well. But I recommend the palm, and you will find out why in a moment. Now, what you're doing now is you're creating a physical sensation that allows your thoughts to focus instinctively on your hand and where it's placed, taking your thoughts, centering it into your heart space. Sit there for a moment and allow yourself to focus your attention where your hand is. Keep your breathing steady and slow. You will begin to feel a warmth radiating from the palm of your hand. As a transfer of energy from yourself back into yourself, syncing and healing the brain-heart connection. Sit in that feeling for a moment as you begin to feel more relaxed. You will be able to feel your brain and your heart perfectly connecting. I would recommend doing this exercise daily. As this effect lasts approximately 6 hours after doing it, as it's been studied by medical professionals. So as you feel that connection, as you have your mind focused on the center of your chest, think about these 4 heart-based words: love, compassion, gratitude, and hope. Any thought that you can bring to the surface of your mind that exists within each one of these, I want you to focus hard on that thought. Think about a loved one that brings you immense comfort and love. Think about a significant other that does that. Or think about a time where you were excited about something, where you were hopeful about something. Focus on that. And as you notice you focusing on it, you will feel it sitting specifically where your hand is almost. It's an odd sensation, but you can feel it sitting directly in your chest. Let it sit there. Feel those emotions. They're all love. They're all excitement. Allow yourself to laugh, smile, cry. Feel the love. Feel the hope. Feel the excitement. Spend this moment now making these thoughts linger. Stay with me now. Stay with these thoughts. Become immersed in them. meditative state. Take your time. Keep these emotions fresh within yourself and within your mind. Keep that feeling of your thoughts and your mind centered in your chest. Embrace this feeling of comfort and safety. Know that the universe loves you. Feel the embrace of the universal energy of Source and love and light. Open your eyes. Look at the world around you. Look at your living room, bedroom. Look out of a window. Got a loved one, dog, cat, bird. And try to sense and feel the love emanating off of those beings, of this people. Try to allow your mind to imagine the source energy that flows through all of these things, that connects from their minds to their hearts, to your mind and to your heart. And then remember that we are all interwoven together as a perfect web. We all have the flow of Kundalini flowing from the base of our spines out of the top of our heads through time and space, reaching Source. We are all one, all together. Go forward in love. Go forward in light. Show the world what you're capable of. Embrace the Brain-Heart Coherence. And remember to do this solid for 3 days. And then after that, it will continue to linger a bit longer. This meditation should last you 6 hours with the effects of Brain-Heart Coherence. And anytime you feel like it's disconnecting, take a moment, place that palm back on the center of your chest, and repeat the steps. This is my spiritual prescription to you. I look forward to hearing about your experiences, about how it's helped you and changed your life with this practice. Also, if you choose to perform CE5, where you want to meditate to communicate with extraterrestrial beings, you can follow the same practice as well to do so. Instead, you would focus on them and invite them to come be with you and to meet with you in a way that is safe for them. Once you astral project yourself or connect to them in consciousness, you vector them in, so you show them where you are at this point in time and space, even down to the city you live in, how to get there, just a visual image of where you are Give them a moment. Sometimes they'll show up then. Sometimes they'll show up later in your room, should you desire it to be that way. They will always hear you. And if you keep that feeling in your heart, vector them in, your body will intuitively show you where they're at. Allow yourself to connect with your star family, your galactic family. Learn from them, learn from their spiritual lessons, their spiritual teachings, and embrace them with love and light. As an ambassador to love and light from this planet of Earth. Hope you all enjoyed that. It's a meditation practice I've been working on with myself, and I've noticed it's helped a lot with some of the stuff I've been encountering and some of the things I've been trying to accomplish. It's also really effective when you use rose quartz. So just take the rose quartz and put it in the palm, and then center it as well. So I use that as kind of like a filter too. So it's like if anytime I try to send a negative thought directly to my heart space, I want this to basically eradicate it, like destroy it, and get rid of it. So I would totally recommend doing this with some rose quartz in the palm, directly right here. And another way you can do it too, if you don't want to use rose quartz or what have you, you can also just take your hand like this and put it right here, or like sometimes I put it directly where the sternum ends and where my intestines begin, and then that's another energy point. That is where the anahata is, and some of the Vedic traditions. So you can do that there. Typically when I meditate, I have like sacred ash I have from India, so it's like vibhuti here. I put it on my throat, and then I also put it right here on my anahata. So Agna, Vishuddhi, and But I hope that meditation helped everybody. I also recorded it, so I may upload the meditation separately, if you all if you all want that. So, for those who have missed this too, I want to just skip straight to the meditation. If you're in the Discord channel, I will probably stream it in the Discord channel, but I will probably more than likely also just upload this to YouTube as a separate video. I hope that this helps all of you. It's a practice that's been helping me. It's helped me overcome a lot of things I've been struggling with, and some of this dark negative energy and these thoughts, such as depression and everything. Because I was one that's like, I cannot seem to just break that barrier and get into that heart space. And then when I realized that, when I was thinking like, oh yeah, okay, I'm finally in my heart space. It was still all up here. It's just that physical connection. When you start trying to think and like, okay, I want to shift all my thoughts to where my hand is, then that warmth activates that anahata, because you're transferring all that energy, right? And you're energizing that spot. And then all your thoughts start sinking there, and it goes, okay, wait, I can think here, I can exist in this area. And then eventually, once you do it enough times, it'll be perfectly in alignment. And then scientifically, they found that because the heart contains cells, it contains its own memory, right? When you connect it, the brain and the heart directly, it transmits 0.1 hertz, right? And it syncs perfectly. And Greg Braden is, you can find him on YouTube, but he also has a Gaia series called Missing Links. He talks about it, and he actually shows the scientific breakdown of what I just described. And it's totally interesting. But Brain-Heart Coherence is definitely the practice that's needed, and to be known for you to communicate with light beings, extraterrestrials, spirit guides, what have you. I'm still working on it. Shamefully and admittedly, I think I prevent myself from connecting to spirit guides, like out of fear of like how I might perceive them, or shattering my own ego, right? Or my own expectation of what I think that they should look like, or should be. So, if I'm sitting here saying, okay, I want to connect to humanoid ETs, and all of a sudden the only one that's willing to connect to me is a gray or a reptilian, which, let me clarify, reptilians are not all bad. There are some good ones. It's the Dracos you gotta watch out for. So maybe I'm sitting there trying to manifest a humanoid ET, and all of a sudden there's like a mantis ET or a feline ET that some people have recorded flying by, and they go, oh, well, he don't want me there, so I'm not gonna communicate with him even though I want to. He doesn't want me there. So it's important to shatter your expectation, right? Shatter the ego, shatter, just shatter it all. Be fearless. I think it's the key here. Don't be afraid, don't hold yourself back. I would also recommend getting blue kyanite. Let's see if the camera focus on this. It's really good for connecting to your higher self and to throat chakra as well. I learned about this in a Twitch streamer's Twitch called Solitude Spins. It's also known to be related to the Archangel Michael. He uses it supposedly as a sword, but this is also used in other different, religious beliefs and cultures. But this is really powerful. This is really good to have. I bought a massive bag from Home Earth Crystals off of Etsy, and got this, and I would totally recommend it because this is very raw. It's very you see the cuts in it, so it's not your typical tumbled stone and perfect and shiny. It's raw and rough and cut. And to me, I connect with those a bit easier. So because to me, I'm imperfect, right? So why would I want my stones to be perfect 100%? So I can embrace them and accept them for their flaws and for their rigidness. That's the reason why my rose quartz, I've got it like this too. It's not all perfect, and it's definitely got its faults, right? Let's see if it doesn't work that well. Let's see if we can shine it. But it's very rigid. But I love the fact that it's like totally pink but completely translucent, right? There we go. But I appreciate all of you for being here, hanging out, participating in the meditation. I hope that it helps. I would definitely love to hear feedback on it and what you thought about it as well. See if you've probably had the same experiences as me, or whatever your experience might be. And if you would like more guided meditations, probably in the future too, let me know. I'm drastically working on more content. I know a lot of people have really been wanting more of the Orion light language content that I do. So I will be probably trying to put myself in a mental state to be able to record more of that as well, because people like that feeling of home, I guess. So I appreciate all of you. I appreciate my mods for being here. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do. I love you guys, and you guys are amazing. Thank you for the other people who've been here, hanging out, listening to me talk about everything I talk about. It's a bit much, so yeah. I will definitely try to schedule another live stream soon. I'm getting some ideas about different content creators I want to bring onto the stream to do interviews with, and to maybe have them do what's called what I call a live session hijack, right? Where I basically let them stream something on their end, and I will fully live stream it on my end. So basically it looks like they're streaming on my channel from where they're at, to get them some recognition and some stuff out there. So I'm totally working on doing that. I want to have at least a live stream where we talk strictly about starseed stuff, and not kind of like all over the place like this has been. My ear is really itching. Yeah, so stay tuned for a starseed live stream. I'm working on trying to see who all I'm going to get on it. Hopefully we'll get good old Metawave on here. Probably Solitude Spins, if they are willing. And I might bring on my mods, right? So let you get a face with a name or whatever else you would like to do. So I'm working on coming up with some ideas for a bunch of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the background, behind the scenes of Memer as well. I'm also contemplating some other stuff too. Now I am opening another channel up, 2 other channels actually. One will be a different form of meditation that's a little bit different than the tribal stuff. It's more of like strictly binaural stuff. It's called Into the Ether. I've shared it in the past, so I'll be reviving that channel to be strictly focused on just that type of meditation, more synthes type of things that I don't want to incorporate in Memer as well, because I'm trying to keep this in essence an ancient tribal primordial type of channel. Granted, I have stepped out of that box a bit, but I'm trying to keep it as tribal as possible. So Into the Ether will be basically the sister to this channel, where it does the different forms of meditation music. And then the other channel I'm opening is kind of more like a, I don't know what you would call it. It's more like a gaming slash reaction kind of channel. It's called Escaped Alien. I'll probably talk a lot about conspiracy theories there, game a little bit, do reviews on games, do reviews on books, do reviews on tons of stuff, and then also obviously do reviews on music, what have you. So it's just basically gonna be like a full-blown random hodgepodge channel, I guess, if you want to use that term. I hate that term, but if you want to use it, it's probably the best way to describe it. I'm still trying to hammer out the details for that channel. There is a Twitch channel for Escaped Alien, so if you want to go follow it, it's called, I'll drop the link here. So that right there, that link is the channel idea that I'm working on. There is a YouTube for it, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the YouTube aspect of it. I think it's primarily going to be a Twitch-based channel. So if you have Twitch, feel free to go follow it. There's also a Memers Well podcast Twitch channel. So it's just Memers Well podcast, and if you just search it on Twitch if you want, or I can send it here on as well. So Memers Well podcast, and you can follow that there too. I will do some stuff on that channel also, as time permits, as I get some inspiration to do it. I've been talking to someone about maybe me doing like rune readings, since I do them a lot. Maybe like doing it on like a tarot aspect of the channel, but I doubt I'll do it because it's me. You know, I'm already overwhelmed as it is. So, it's pretty bad. But you follow me on Deezer? That's awesome. Thank you. A lot of the music and stuff's on Deezer too, and you can also get a lot of the music on iTunes and buy it, or listen to it on Spotify. I mean, it's basically it's everywhere. I do have another project that I do. You will see some of the music from the channel on there. It's more of like a musical channel with like a Hyolung kind of tribal style vocals, and it's hard to explain it. I guess it's just very much like Hyolung in a way. But I appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you, Felipe, for being here as well and coming in at the end. We're about to wrap up. I'll be posting the meditation video from this session as a separate video later if you're into hanging out and listening to that once it's posted. But I appreciate everything everybody does, and thank you for all your support. I'm just blown away by the fact that the channel has reached 14K in less than a year. It's been only a few months, and I think the channel passed 1,000 subscribers Thanksgiving of last year, so we're at 14,000 now. So the growth has just been unbelievable. And it's really unbelievable that when I go in other streams on Twitch, and people see my username, they already know who I am. So that's another thing, is I didn't intend to ever get to that level, I guess. And it's extremely humbling when a lot of people who are in the tarot community or the witch community or pagan community or whatever knows who I am. It's crazy, and I'm humbled by them a lot. Um, Shout out to a lot of the streamers that I watch. If you want a recommendation of my streamers that I prefer and like, only thing you gotta do is go to any Meme or Swell video in YouTube, click the description, and in that description you will see my recommendations. I have Metawave, which is a good friend of mine. He's been on the channel. I have Solitude Spins. She does Starseed Oracle readings and past life stuff, and also medium work. I have a bunch of Reiki videos, channels that I watch: Silver Hair, Luninate, Holistic Yasania, Elizabeth April. She's another Starseed channel. Yeah, I have a ton of content on there. I watch so many different channels and support them all and love them all. And so if you're a content creator and you want me to check out your stuff, and yeah, just let me know. Drop a link to what you do in the Discord or in a comment or something, and just let me know what you do, and I'll check it out. And try my best to, if I really dig it or try to get into it, I'll definitely share the word out. But stay tuned for some of the stuff. Hopefully I can get going as far as the live session goes in the next few weeks, maybe a month or so from now. So I'm going to try to work out the details on that and try to align everything just right, because I don't want to throw a live stream in and then no one be ready for it, because this is kind of last minute kind of live stream. But I appreciate all of you. I love all of you, and thank you all for hanging out and listening to my rantings and everything. So